I'm very happy to be here at this Zoom meeting. Actually, Kumar sir is my friend for almost 2 years, I think. We have been in touch with each other, and he has come to my college. Has come to my college, and thank you very much, sir, for your supportive words about our rural college. All other subjects. When you when it comes to languages like Kannada or English, you are not able to score out of out. Why is this so? This question might be always haunting you. You always want to. There were 14 chapters, and out of 14, four lessons have been excluded. Four lessons means there are four units. I mean, the two units are not there. That is, Vandana Shiva is not there. Then, to the foot from its child, the poem is not there. And Borges interview is not there, and the poem Water is not there. So, except these four, we have got 10 lessons. Okay, so on 10 units, if you come to the first name, which contains 18 1 mark questions. 18 1 mark questions are taken from 10 units. 10 units means there are four poetry and six lessons are there, which includes one drama also. So here you need to be very accurate about answering 1 mark questions. 1 mark questions cannot be just here and there. This is just like mathematics. Uh, uh, there would be less vagueness in the expected answer because these are objective type questions. Objective means a particular information is expected from you. For example, if you take any lesson like there is a question card in the play A Sunny Morning, the Silver Maiden refers to. It is they have given choices also. A. Petra. B. Donna Laura. C. The ballet dancer. Okay, you know the answer. I'm not checking your answers, but the answer is Donna Laura. If you say, if I write Petra, can I be given a mark? No. So what I mean to say is, this is a list of 18 objective questions. In objective questions, what happens is you need to write the exact number on. What is the population of two deer? What is the population of Monaco as mentioned in two deer? If there is a question like how to write 7,000 only because it is mentioned. It is mentioned in the lesson that the population is 7,000. Okay, about 7,000. So if you write about 7,000, you get 1 mark. But if you write 6,500, can you get half mark? It's not possible. By objective type of questions, I meant this only. I meant you need to be accurate in your answer. Anything just beside that may not fetch you marks. So what happens is you don't take a chance. Though they have right questions out of 18, please write all the 18 answers. What happens is one may go wrong and by luck other may go right. So there must so the answer is 2 years. So 2 years only. Okay. So you need not. Okay. One suggestion is you need not write complete sentences for this question, and don't write question also. That's not required because we have the question paper. We are not checking whether you write the question or not. We never checked it. Don't waste your time in these useless things. Okay. So That is the change in first main. Earlier, there was a single question, but now you have choice. Like you have been given 18 questions and you need to write only 12 answers. But I suggest you, I advise you to write all the 18 answers. And if the right answers, number of right answers is more than 12, we give exact 12, that's not a problem. That indeed is a problem for us while evaluating, while giving marks for these questions. And six extra answers. So we need to deduct 6 marks out of 18 correct answers. If you have written all the answers, 18. So that is what I suggest you about first main. So don't leave out any question. For 1 mark questions, don't leave out any question because it hardly takes 15 seconds to write one answer. Okay. So when you write all these questions, that's very fine. If not, what happens? You know very well. But if you write exactly 12 answers and one or two go wrong, your 100 out of 100 comes to 98 or 96 or 97, like that. Okay. Coming to second main. Okay. This is the crucial area. Second and third main are the crucial areas where students are going to lose marks. Why and how? Whenever in a language paper, if somebody gives 100 out of 100 to a student, the after evaluation we check everywhere whether there can be any mistake, because see there is a one question for 4 marks means if I give 4 marks, complete 4 marks, any error, for example 2 plus 2 is 4, you can't rate 3.75. In the same way, when I have to give 4 marks for a question, an answer, that should be completely flawless. Flawless means there should not be any mistake in grammar, there should not be any mistake in expression, in tense, grammatical, spelling, anything. Anything, there should not be any mistake. See, yeah, I have been always thinking that, okay, our students should get 100 out of 100 in English also. I give 4 out of 4 for all the 8 questions. Okay, you know the choices here. Again, you have been given a lot of choices here. That means uh, there will be 14 questions. There will be 14 questions based on 8 units. And as you think logically also, you have to leave out one question for 6 marks. That is one poetry question for 6 marks. So that means 7 units. Okay, there are only 4 poems for you. Romeo Juliet is there, On Children is there, When You Are Old is there, and another one. Okay, so all these 4 poems uh, are comparatively smaller than the left out poems like Water and another poem that is To the Foot from Its. Conceptually and the way the things have been presented, there are many details in both these poems, Water and To the Foot from Its Tail. But the poems which are there for you, uh, bigger poem, comparatively bigger poem is Romeo and Juliet, and there are chances of asking one 4 mark question and one 6 mark question there. All other three do not have scope for asking two questions, two descriptive questions. So what happens is they'll give one poem for the third main, that is 6 marks, and one other 3 poems would be given for 4 marks. So what happens is, for example, heaven, if you are not here on earth, heaven, if you are not here on earth, if it is asked for 6 marks, there is no room or scope to ask another 4 marks question in the second main. So the question paper setter has to exclude one poem from asking in the 4 marks question. So what happens with this is, you have 7 units and 14 questions. 7 units and 14 questions. That means you need to write only 8 questions. Only 8 questions. This is actually very easy for you. Very easy for you because voter, there can be 2 questions. About Sunny Morning, there can be 2 questions. About 2 deer, there can be 2 questions. About the gardener, there can be 2 questions. Japan and Brazil, there can be 2 questions. So 4 lessons, 6 lessons, you can have 12 questions, and there can be another question also from one of these lessons. But think about this. Uh, Covering Sunny Morning is a good idea actually. Why Sunny Morning is a good idea is it's a bigger lesson, and there can be two 4 marks questions that gives you 8 marks, and there can also be another 6 marks question. It's always easy to guess the questions based on your lessons. That means one poem question would not be asked in 4 marks, but it would be covered in 6 marks. But why I told Romeo and Juliet has a room, that means there can be a question on, there can be two questions on Romeo and Juliet, like how Romeo describes Juliet's beauty and how Juliet intensely expresses her love. There can be two 1 mark, two 4 mark questions. And if they ask these two second main, there may not be a room for another question in 6 marks. So another poem would be chosen, would look for any mistakes you have committed. They don't think that okay, 100 is given to accept whatever is given there. No, it's not like that because I should not be wrongly evaluating any student. I might be generous in giving marks, but this generosity is not accepted readily. People will look for any mistakes. For example, I told you 4 marks question means I have given 4 marks means there should not be a small mistake or it should be completely flawless. In language, it doesn't happen. You you would have used one verb wrongly. You would have used one linker wrongly. You would have made one spelling error. Okay. If there are 3 or 4 mistakes in one answer, how much can I uh, deduct for that? You only suggest. Because I told you, 4 out of 4 means completely correct answer you should write. If there are 2 mistakes, how much I should deduct? Tell me, somebody.
1 marks.
1 mark. If I deduct 1 mark for two wrong expressions in 4 marks, you have 8 questions. If I deduct 1 mark each in second main itself, you would be losing 8 marks. Top out scoring dream is shattered here. What happens is to avoid this, most of the evaluators don't give 4 out of 4. They will be quickly evaluating. They have time. They'll have at least 3 hours, 3 hours per session. Per session, that means for 12 papers. To evaluate 12 papers, there will be 3 hours. Okay. That means 800, 180 minutes. That means 180 by 12.
15.
Ah, for one paper, I can spend 15 minutes. Okay. So most of the people, evaluators, what they do is they give three and a half. Maybe there might be some error. They round off the error. Sometimes they round off the error also. What error you have committed, they round off there and they deduct half a mark. If you lose half a mark, how much you will be losing? Completely. For all the eight questions, they give three and a half means you have written very well actually. And they give three and a half means you will be losing 4 marks. And out of out, green comes to 96. Okay. So you would not be getting 100 out of 100 if you commit any small errors also in 4 marks question. But nobody gives 4 marks also. I have seen that. Even I have given 4 marks at many instances, and highest marks I have given in these one decade, almost for 12 years, I have been evaluating papers, and every time I have evaluated 300 plus papers. And highest marks I have given is 97. 97 I have given, and 96 I have given many times. Many times I have given, and you must realize that I have given 4 out of 4 for these 4 marks questions. There's another problem also there. What is that is an evaluator, if he is very keen about uh, the expressions you have used, he would look for mistakes everywhere. Everywhere he would look for mistakes. That's why you need to be very careful in using language. I'll give you my hints at the end of the session. I'm just discussing about the question paper pattern. And in the second main, you have to write at least 6 to 8 lines. At least 6 to 8 lines. Anything below 8 lines would reduce your marks. If you have written only 4 lines, so, for example, if the question is asked on heaven if you are not here on earth, there are no many details. There are no many details. For example, I have written uh, some small notes for heaven if you are not here on earth. I'll just read. Think how much I have reduced this answer. In this poem, Kuvempu gives us a new way of understanding heaven. Clear? Okay. Be accurate like this. In this poem, Kuvempu gives us a new way of understanding heaven. He says the heaven is there on earth only. Men and women themselves should become the gods and nymphs. 3 lines, 3 sentences are over. In the beauty of nature, in the beauty of nature, heaven can be seen in sunshine, rolling surf on the waves, gardens, harvest, and moonlight. Okay, this is uh, the fourth line. And the fifth line is with a heart to enjoy the beauty of nature. With a heart to enjoy the beauty of nature, the poet creates heaven on earth. The poet creates heaven on earth. Okay, this is the gist of the whole poem. If you have to write for 4 marks, this idea would be enough. These ideas would be enough. But this is not enough for 4 months. They think that, okay, this is very much condensed. Okay, you need to describe. Okay, I have said garden only, and you have to say verdant garden. Okay, tender sunshine. Okay, it leans upon the tender sunshine. Like that, you need to describe properly, and you need to use figurative language. You can use many, you can use metaphors, you can use similes, you can use personification. All these elements you can use to attract the reader, whoever reads. It should be like that, and such accuracy and mm, mature expression is expressed if you are expecting 4 marks out of 4. Okay. So uh, for 6 marks questions, you know very well that two questions would be from prose and one question would be from poetry. So there are only four poems, you know well. Romeo and Juliet is there, Aunt Children is there, Heaven If You Are Not Here on Earth is there, and When You Are Old is there. Okay. From four out of these four questions, four poems, one question would be on one of these poems. Okay, and I told you that that question would be excluded. That poem would be excluded from 4 marks question because there is no room for asking one 4 marks question also and one 6 marks question also in any poem except Romeo Juliet. Because in Romeo Juliet, what happens is there might be only one question asking how does Romeo is mesmerized by the beauty of Juliet, something like that would be asked. And in 6 marks, what happens is they ask out of Romeo and Juliet, whose love do you feel is intense, and whose expression do you like, and why? They would ask such question in 6 marks question, that is third main. Okay. So here also you need to be very mature and very nice expressions you need to use in 6 marks because this for this question you need to answer for at least three-fourths of a page or complete one complete page is also okay if you use. And these are the changes which are made about choices in the first main and only in second main. Third main, there is no change. Earlier also there were three questions and one question for it. Another choice is given in, so your 50 marks is covered and another 50 marks will be in grammar. Okay, in grammar, only comprehension of poetry, a part of poetry is given in question number 35 and 36. And there you need to choose one of the poems and you need to answer them. Answer three questions based on that. And then that's the only choice given in grammar section. And the rest of the questions don't have any extra choices. You need to realize this. And in grammar section, only poetry comprehension is given in question number 35 and question number 36. These are the only two only choice questions based on poetry comprehension. Okay, so all the rest of the questions you know very well. 37th is passive verb, and 38 is reporting, that is indirect speech, direct indirect speech. 39th question is dialogue writing, dialogue completion, and 40th question is expression, figurative language, and 41st question is about linkers. Four linkers will be given and a paragraph. 42nd question is, and 43rd question is letter writing. 44th question is speech or report writing. So you have a choice there, and you had the choice earlier also. 45th question is reference skills, that is that means how to use pronouns. How to use pronouns, that is given in the 44th question. So in question number 46, that is last question, a jumbled segment is given and you need to write the correct sentence. Okay. So this pattern is not changed anywhere except the poetry comprehension. So now I am telling you where you are going to lose marks. Okay. So why you don't get 100 out of 100 and what you can be doing for getting 100 out of 100. So I have told you already 4 marks and 6 marks questions. They are the key areas where you are going to lose 4 or 5 marks. That means your 100 out of 100 is reduced to 95. Okay. 95 is a great score in English. Okay. You are exclusively excellent in your expression without any mistake in grammar or spelling or anything like that. Then you can be given 96 or 97. One joke is that among evaluators is that If somebody gives more marks, like 98, 97, or like that, uh, that student's English is better than the evaluator's English. Evaluator, if he feels that, oh, what an English he has used, and I don't use such English also. If he feels so, if she feels so, she always or he always gives more marks interestingly. Okay, so another key area where you are not likely to get out of out marks is reported speech. Reported speech is an area which expects the highest knowledge of language, expression, grammar, everything. Why I say so is out of these 100 marks, these 95 marks question can be answered anyway, but there is always dilemma. Even the teachers keep quarreling about how to change this. No, this is not right. What you have done is not right. Such discussions keep happening with even teachers. Okay, because uh, there is no 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 type of things in language or grammar. But in reported speech, what happens is the reporting verb is sometimes seen like he surprisingly asked something, some expressions like this. These cannot be taught. This is common sense. You need to have common sense while using these expressions. Okay. For example, take this book. He says, she asked him to take that book. Okay, this book and that book, there is a confusion, and you'll get a lot of material for this on websites also, grammar also, anywhere you will get material. But you need to be very thorough. And I have seen very less papers scoring 5 out of 5 in reported speech because there will be errors while using different expressions for time and different expressions for pronouns, and you need to change the tense always because somebody said something to somebody and someone else heard him, and after listening to them he is coming and reporting to us, means you cannot use present tense at all. If you use a small present tense expression anywhere in the reported speech, you will lose marks. At least half a mark, 1 mark will lose in reported speech. Another area is dialogue completion. Dialogue completion means you need to keep a keen eye on what is there given in the brackets as suggestion. What dialogue should be given blank, because 4 blanks would be there and 4 expressions should be there, and we give uh, agreeing if something is there in brackets. If somebody says writes okay, also we give 1 mark. It's easy to score marks there, but there can be pitfalls also while writing the answers for dialogue writing. That is fourth area where you are going to lose half a mark or 1 mark. Next one is letter writing. For letter writing, however poorly it is written, if the pattern is format is followed, we always give 4 marks. Out of 5, we give 4. And if it is completely flawless, it is easy to score 5 marks in uh, letter rating also, because we have given, we may lose some marks in what I mean is, wait a minute. Uh, you may lose some marks in 4 marks questions, but it's less likely that you lose out of out marks in letter writing, because letter writing you need to follow the format. It is always there. You follow the format. There is no doubt about it. But there will be difference of opinions about what to write and what not to write and how to write. These doubts will be there. Uh, if you have the pattern there in the you have the pattern in workbook, you have the pattern, you can see there everything is left aligned. Remember this, don't write yours faithfully or date or subject to the middle, thank you in the middle, Such things don't do that because we use very modern block form. Block form means everything in the letter should begin from the extreme left. Okay, nothing is shifted to right. Okay, so if something is if you write yours faithfully to the right, uh, evaluator might cut 1 mark there. That happens, that can happen, and you lose 1 mark there or a half a mark there. Don't write date on the right side. That again can make you lose 1 mark. Okay, so you have to remember the format. You have to write from address, that is xxx yy in the to the extreme left, and next is date, next is to address, and next is sir, next is subject. Subject, in the subject you write application for the post of so and so, and reference. Reference, you write your advertisement in Deccan Herald dated so and so. And in the body of the letter, don't make any grammatical mistakes. Don't make any expressions which look very wrong. You have to look for what qualification is asked in the letter, in the advertisement, and you need to assume that you have that qualification and write. Okay, pharmacist, some pharmacist post they have called for means you should have a D pharma or B pharma degree, and you must say that I have done bachelor of pharmacy from basis pharmacy college Mysore with first class or something like that. But you need to be accurate about what qualification is as there and what experience is preferred there, and you fulfill those criteria, and so you need to be given a call of interview like that. So again, towards the left only, extreme left only, you should write thank you, and extreme left only, you should write yours faithfully. Then signature, XXX, and you know the simple format for resume writing that is always attached. Okay, many people skip this resume writing. For that, I have seen evaluators giving only 3 marks. But scheme of evaluation says that this resume can be either separate or it can be included in the body of the letter itself. Both are allowed, but many conventional teachers or evaluators, think that the resume should be given separately because it's not easy to locate details in the letter. If you see a resume, you can always make out, okay, when he's born, what are the qualifications, and which degree, which year, which rank he has secured in that course. All these things are clearly given in resume. So I also, if I am an employer, I always prefer separate resume than including the resume details within the body of. So write both the letter and the resume, but in the scheme of evaluation, it's not mentioned like how much marks should be given for resume and how much marks should be given for letter writing. These details are not given in the scheme of evaluation for us. But still, many people deduct 2 marks if resume is not attached with the letter. So you might lose marks there. So be careful about that. Next thing is report writing. In report writing and speech writing, format should be followed strictly. And you know that very nicely you can describe things there. If a pie chart is given about how an urban family spends their monthly income on various heads, there's a pie chart. Okay, and if there are two pie charts, you have more material to write. Okay, you can describe this pie chart and that pie chart. You can compare them and how there is a shift from this to that, and over 10 years how things have changed. All these things, comparisons is our given. So remember, whenever you choose report writing instead of speech writing, you need to be very calculative in writing what you are observing there. And okay, you need to present the data, what is given and what I understand from these two, that one or two. bar charts or pie charts or line chart or something like that, line graph, anything like that. So you need to write what is there first. Then you compare things. Okay, if the okay in 1 year the production of sugarcane is this much, and second year this much, third year this much. Okay, you compare them. That is the second part. Okay, the last part is you have to give a conclusion. What inferences you can draw from these pie charts or bar charts and things like that. So you need to be like an economist while evaluating or while describing these bar charts and pie charts and writing a report. Okay, if you feel that speech writing is quite a boring thing, to write a speech, okay, have to uh, draft a speech like good morning everybody on the stage, and I am thankful for inviting me to give a lecture on no smoking day or something like that, or to introduce somebody as a guest at your college. Such questions are given. Only two types of questions are given. It's an occasion and you need to speak about the occasion, and you are given an opportunity to introduce a chief guest at your college or something like that. So two types of speech writings are given, and you need to write exact format, like how you are going to deliver the speech you have to give. So there should be a beginning, salutation is there, addressing is there, and you have to thank for the opportunity given, and come to the proper topic about introducing or describing an event. And while coming to the end, you thank all the organizers for giving this opportunity, and for patient listening, you need to thank the audience. Then you can say some Jai Karnataka, Jai Bharat, or something like that, Jai Hind. You end the conclude the speech. Okay, so here also, however you write, uh, basic minimum you write in report writing or speech writing. uh, Many evaluators give 4 out of 5, and uh, if you follow whatever I have told completely and without any mistakes, if you write the speech or report writing, you can be given 4.5. Okay, 5 also they'll see somewhere. Okay, there's a mistake. Half a mark is deducted easily. Half mark is deducted, and you know very well that if the final total is half. Okay, if you have got 95 and half, we always give half mark grace and make it 96. Okay, that's always there. But what happens is uh, some of the this is another joke again, on hard reality. If you give half marks in different places in question paper, it would be quite clumsy to total, to add some of the marks. So some evaluators, if they are weak in mathematics, and if they don't want a headache of half mark, I'm sorry, they might give you three only, where you have to get 4 marks. Instead of getting 3.5, you deserve 3.5 marks. But an evaluator who feels that half a mark is a headache, he would really give 3 mark only, and by that, you would reduce, your total would be reduced. I should not be saying these hard realities to you, but it happens like that. I have seen people who don't give half mark at all. I have given half mark at many places. Like 4.5, I give out of 5, and 5.5 I have given for 6 marks question. I have given. Okay, because I know that you people have been very ambitious, and you feel that you must score more than 95 in English, and I respect that. Okay, and I have given 96, 97. I have told you already. But what happens is, while having this out in your head, you need to think calmly. You need to think calmly, and one more thing is speech writing. I have given you all things. Uh, Coming to my final part about where you can stop losing marks. Okay, I have listed some here. Uh, thing is accuracy. Accuracy is one thing which should be maintained throughout your paper. Not that your earlier pages are very neat and finally you are just scribbling something. Uh, Evaluators, we evaluate 24 papers per day, and we evaluate for almost 20 days, completely 20 days, and you never know when your paper is going to come to my hand. So you can see the frustration there. And if I have not completed the 24 pages on the previous day, I would be given that extra papers on the next day. So 24 plus 6, 30 papers would be there on the one day. And if I'm not feeling well and I couldn't complete 10 papers today, I would get 34 papers next day. I have to evaluate number of papers. Okay, 24 papers into per day, 20 days. Okay, even if I miss one day, I have to cover these papers within the stipulated time of evaluation. So, in this frustration, if I get your paper, I expect it to be very neat. Okay, don't scratch here and there, don't make many mistakes, and don't mess up question numbers. Okay, that's the first thing. First thing I told you is accuracy in everything. Okay, this is as per means you should answer that in that particular way only. Okay, even if you write like this also, it's okay. It's okay means you're not going to get out of out marks. You'll pass, you'll get a first class, you'll get a high first class, but you'll not get out of out. Okay, if you want out of out marks, you mean you need to be accurate. Second one is flawless language. Flawless language means it should not be having any mistakes. Any means any mistake should not be there, because any mistake is found, I round off, half mark is gone. Two times I round off, 1 mark is gone. Okay. So it's an answer to the point. Okay. If a question is asked about why the king of Monaco changed the life, death punishment to life imprisonment, if I ask, I don't expect an answer which says that Monaco is a small country or something. That's not required here. Answer to the point. You have to start from a murder is committed in the small kingdom of Monaco. Don't describe Monaco, its taxes, and all these things, and make half a page with that. And the expected answer starts after half a page means he is beating the bush. You're not to the point. What I am asking, I am talking completely about punishment. Why this changed from death punishment to life imprisonment? You should start from the murder and end at after the soldiers refused to uh, cut the head. They decided that okay, after the committees are met and again met, they decided that it should be changed from life imprisonment. It should be changed to life imprisonment. Okay, there it should end. Okay, so how much ever do you describe, let it end within 45. Or within three-fourth of a page. Okay, don't that some answers you love writing. That doesn't mean that you don't make uneven answer lengths, because you have 7 more questions. If you write 1.5 page for the first 4 mark question, and for the last question you don't have time, so you write only 3 or 4 lines, means that's not acceptable. You need to write 8 or 9 lines for all the 8 questions. You need to maintain that. You need to be uh, even in length. You need to be your answer should be even in length and all equal length. Okay, that is what I meant by answer to the point. Fourth one is following the instructions. Okay, read the instructions properly, and whatever instructions are given, follow them properly. And uh, the grammatically correct expressions. Okay. With long answers, what happens is 4 marks and 6 marks question. People use present tense for 3 or 4 sentences and suddenly shift to past tense. You only talk in that way, you'll understand that how odd it is. Okay. While talking, if you are narrating a story that happened yesterday, you always use past tense. Why do you use present tense in the middle? So for that, you need to use a single tense. So if you are answering Romeo Juliet in present tense, okay, you need to write the whole answer in the present tense. Don't shift from present tense to past tense and past tense to present tense and suddenly future using will and writing about Romeo and Juliet is not it cannot be accepted because you cannot say that Romeo will love Juliet intensely. You cannot do that because you're not talking about something about future. You are talking about present. Romeo loves Juliet. Juliet loves Romeo. She compares him. He compares her. So all in present tense. Only. If you are using past, Romeo loved Juliet intensely. Juliet loved intense something like that. And she compared him to uh, something like that. Okay. So he compares her. So in past tense, you say he compared her to yes, no, he doubt or something like that. So stick to one tense. Okay. Don't keep changing the tenses, present tense and past tense. Don't mix up. So that is a big mistake. Many do. And you you lose marks there. Don't lose marks just because you are using both the tenses for a single answer. Okay. Be sure about what we use. Present tense or past tense. Both are okay. Both are okay, but you need to stick on to one expression, one tense. Then spelling mistakes are completely not acceptable at all at second PUC level. Because if you make mistakes, and one more thing I should not forget, in letter writing also don't use short forms. Okay, thank you. You write T and Q only. You can use it in your WhatsApp. You can use it in your Instagram, but not in your answer paper because you're not communicating with your friend, but you are writing an examination where you need to use formal language only. Many elderly evaluators get very angry with these SMS languages and e-language which you use anywhere in your mobile phones or laptops and while chatting. Okay, so they are not formal expressions. That's why don't use them. Okay, I accept, but not in answer. You can message me in short forms. Okay, I have done my PhD on that only. What type of short forms you are using over there? And I accept that on my mobile, but not on answer because people might get angry and deduct marks. Don't write thank you, TAN, TANK, and you, just you, not instead of YOU, you write only you lose marks. And T and Q, they write. No, you don't get marks there. Don't use short forms. Don't assume that I can understand. I can understand, but still I understand that that's a mistake. So it's not acceptable to use informal expressions of your electronic media over there in answer papers. Don't lose marks there just for that. Okay. The next point I have thing is format of the letter writing. Like I told you, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D. The question numbers. It should be A, B, C, D only, and it should be in order, and it should be in sequence. Okay. Don't write J in the beginning, then C, then A, then B, and after 4 or 5 pages you write C, D. Such things are not accepted because uh, for question number 34, we give mark at one box only. Only one box is given for us to give 10 out of 10 how much he has scored in the passage. We have to write that in the one box only. So we don't have patience to total where all the student has written all the 10 questions and all the 10 answers and the poetry comprehension also 3 questions. These 13 marks questions should be answered at one place. That's another rule they say, and you should follow that. Don't miss that because it's confusing. It's confusing if you miss the order because in our mind, all the 10 answers would be there after 1 day or 2 days. All the 10 answers are there in our mind in the order. And if you miss the order, we quickly, we say that, okay, it's wrong because the question number D should be this only. That's there in our mind. So it is instructed to you. It's not my suggestion. It's instructed to you in the question paper itself that these passage questions and poetry comprehension questions should be answered at one place and should be in order only. And don't write 1, 2, 3. Question number 1, 2, 3 there. You should be writing A, B, C, D, F to J. You have to write. This is another mistake you commit. And if you have, see, there is another dilemma about whether you should complete about passive verb form. Okay, in passive verb form, usually past tense is asked. Usually past tense is asked, but some intelligent question paper setters, what they do is they add one verb which could be in present tense also. For example, this is that it is taken from one of the prose parts only. The situation is taken from one of the prose parts where they create a possibility of a passive verb. So you know that singular was or plural is were, and with that you have to use V3, that is past participle form only. You have to use this is always there. What they make is if a question is set on where there is a V, where there is a V, out of three blanks, one blank could be about present. That means even today, if the sentence begins with even today, uh, bicycles are ridden. Okay, bicycles are ridden by the rural women in Pudukkottai. See, you should not blindly write were ridden because you have the hint there. Even today, such hint is there means it should be in present tense, not was, were, and weak be. Okay, you should write are ridden. Okay, this chance is there only with where there is a we because all other things are in past only. The water is in past, gardener is in past, food year is in past. If by chance they give a question on a Sunday morning, it is also in past. They use past tense. But if they give a question on where there is a we, there are chances of having one present tense also. And you know that if there is a can and give, you always say it could be given, can be given, or past form could be given. So if there are two words in the brackets itself, you have to write three words in the blank. Okay, so B is given, but always remember that passive verb form is always in past participle. So you should not write ing form where you lose marks. And was were should be accurate. Yeah, instead of was, if you have written were, but past participle if you write half mark is not given. Even if you write was and were correct, but past participle form is wrong. Took was took. If you write, you lose 1 mark. Half mark is not given. So was given is given 1 mark. Okay. So like that, you need to be accurate there. And if you feel that you have time, write questions and then answer because there is a saying in among question paper setters that if there is no container, how can you fill the water? So you should write the paragraph first, then fill the blanks. Okay. What happens is with linkers, for example, there are four linkers which should be there. Which you should choose the right linkers and answer. Some students write two in the first line, two linkers in the first line, and two linkers in the second line. Just answers they write. Okay. We are in confusion about whether I should take as 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So question numbers are not there in linkers. Question numbers are not there in expressions. Question numbers are not there. Sub question numbers, I mean, are not there with passive verb forms. So how can we make out which answer is correct for which blank when there is no number? So to avoid this, what you can do is for all these three questions, you write, and even the dialogue writing, even the dialogue writing, write the whole question for all the four questions and answer the question. Okay, and the note making, it is clearly told in the question paper itself that you should draw the boxes. You should draw the boxes as given in the question paper and then fill the boxes. Yeah, because eight boxes would be there blank, and you need to fill the blanks based on the paragraph given. Okay, that's a very easy one. You always score well, but without drawing the boxes, some people write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 answers they write completely. And we also give marks sometimes, but when we have to deduct marks, our DC would say, "Oh, he hasn't drawn box, deduct 1 mark there." They would easily say, and we have to obey the deputy chief, and you lose 1 mark there. So why take chance? When you are asked to draw the boxes and write the answer, you draw the box and write. You have time, enough time, and don't waste time in drawing the pie chart and drawing the bar chart. Okay, that is not given marks because question paper has the chart. Why do you repeat that on the question paper? Just because you have brought pencil and compass and everything. So that's not required. You need to analyze the graph. Don't repeat the graph on the question answer paper itself because it's not required. Okay. So with all these instructions, I feel that I have covered everything I had planned to cover. If you have any questions, please go ahead. I am your friend. I'm not your teacher. You need not be passive listeners. You can ask me questions.
Sir, on behalf of all my colleagues and students, right? So really, sir, you have taken 3 long sessions. I am really, really grateful to you. And this hour, right, the way you have taught, right, in one first part, there are 18 questions. It should be, there should not be any vagueness in that, and all the questions are to be should have a specific answer. So our students should make a note of this. And in the 4 mark questions, it should be completely flawless. There should not be any grammar or tense grammar error. Error should not be there in the grammar, and especially from 35 to 45. How it has to be, what are the questions, and how the figurative or linkers or letter writing, so and speech, reported speech, especially dialogue completions, how it has to be, and in letter writing, how best you can go to get 4 out of 5. You have clearly mentioned, right? You have given wonderful instructions. If it is the format and pattern is good, you can get 4 out of 5. And in the body of the letter, if the contents are up to the expectations, and if it is up to the correct point which is needed, you can score 5 out of 5, right? If it is flawless, that you have mentioned. And in the body of the letter, how there should not be any grammatic errors, and it has to, if it is a job applications, it has to fulfill all the requirements of the job.
It will
And in
be
resume
it will be
writing,
job
writing the
application only.
resume, sir, application form, yeah, yeah,
It will be
that
job application only.
yeah, job applications
Okay.
are, yeah. You clearly
Yes.
given all the required informations. You went extensively from first question to the last questions. We are really, really grateful to you for all the detailed informations that you have given to all our students and to all of us, right? In fact, I just followed from beginning, and this 3 sessions, it was really, really indeed great for us. And on behalf of all my students and colleagues, I thank you profusely for this wonderful presentations, right? Wonderful instructions and tips for our students. Thank you very, very much, sir, right? So I'll come and meet you
Thank
soon.
you very much.
Huh? Thank you, sir. It
Thank you
is
very much
indeed
for
a
your
great pleasure.
opportunity. Thank you,
And
sir.
I
Thank you
request
very
you
much,
to
sir.
come to our institute next year and address our students in person, right? This is
Sure, sir.
online,
Sure,
and
sir.
that too at the 11th hour, my request have been accepted by you. I'm very, very grateful for that, right? Thank you very much,
Thank
right?
you.
So with
Thank you.
this, I thank all my colleagues I thank Shri Priya, Indrani. In fact, my dear friends, our Dr. Naveen Halemane is a good friend of our Indrani Medi, right? She also told me that, sir, I know him very well. We used to meet quite often in the examination evaluation center. That is a camp, right? Thank you very much, madam, and thank all
And
my special mentors,
and
right?
and
Sir,
and from my side, sir,
yes, sir.
I I I